I was born and raised in the Humboldt Park area, in the Weston area. That's where I grew up. You seeing everything. And one of the things that my father and my grandmother were about was always about helping people. My father worked for Department of Human Services. And at the time, I used to go around with him, doing things because, in the evenings that he had to go and deliver food or find people to find jobs. My father was very involved. So I think that that's something that has led me into public service. I enjoyed it. And as I kept, then I went to work for the city of Chicago. So back in the early 1990s, I went to work for the city of Chicago, and it's funny because I started as in the mailroom. I was actually in the mailroom. I almost spent 20 years in the city of Chicago. From the mailroom, I went to assistant to the mayor. So I worked myself up because of my involvement in the community. I was already working with the Latino ministers on behalf of the mayor, and that gave me even much more of the sense that our community needed a voice, needed someone that can, stand up for them and for the voices that we have, and that I think prompted me then to go. The mayor sent me to Springfield to lobby some bills for the city of Chicago, and I got to meet a lot of people in Springfield. I guess I got the bug. Senator Miguel del Valle, who was my mentor, who I will always remember in my heart because he was someone that really told me, you got the potential to be that voice. And he goes, one, there was an open seat created in 2000 by the census, and I became a senator. There's so many voiceless individuals out there, and there's so many concerns and crises going on in our community, from housing to crime, to domestic violence. I mean, there's so much going on because now I see it up close and personal. We see a lot of things from the criminal activities that are, that come into our, bond courts and everything that goes on a daily basis in our office, hearing, and sometimes just listening to, what's going on out there and what our system, our access to justice, making sure that it's easy for any individual to be able to come into our office and access whatever it is they need to make sure that they are going to be okay and their family. So for me, it's been always about that. It's not, people talk about, elected, you're in an ivory tower. No, I'm very hands-on. I'm in the community. I'm hands-on, making sure that I'm dealing with the situations, being part of the decision-making when it comes to what is the best thing that we can do to offer these resources and how much more can we expand to make sure that people are getting the very best of government. Don't be afraid to come to our office. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I know in the past people says, well, if there's a warrant out, am I going to be arrested? No, we're going to let you know there's a warrant, and it's up to you to take care of that. We make sure that tell people it's a safe place. You're looking for inquiries about something in your life. We want to make sure that we're able to give you the answer. Then it's up to you to decide whether you need legal assistance. We are just a keeper of the records. All we are, people come to our office to file whatever it is they need. That's what we are. We're the official keeper of the records. However, we don't give legal advice, but we do connect. We do try to connect people with the legal aid individuals. We want to make sure that any kind of concerns that they may have, let it be, when it comes to their mom's will, or an estate, that we're taking care of the basic needs that the office got to offer. Again, that's called access to justice, and that's what we want to make sure that we continue to do in that office.
Yeah. So often the barriers is a lack of access, and I really appreciate you saying and putting into action through your work at the circuit court, making it much more accessible to the public in order for them to really, again, help themselves, whether it's through the website, whether it's going to where they live.
Well, it's calling the call center, right? Calling the call center. Again, it's access to justice, making sure that the call center is there for you, the pro-se litigant office is there for you, the communities and the clerk in the communities is there for you to access. Expungements, information on expungement, on sealing, on any issue dealing with the judicial. That's what we're there for. And I want people not to be afraid. I want people to come and feel, safe, that they're going to be their needs are going to be taken care of, and that, again, that's our job. That is our job, and we got to take care of our people.
I mean, and it's great to learn, how your parents and your father inspired you at a very young age, the importance of serving the community and giving back. And I'm certainly a testament to that like my father also, I remember going with him to pick up people at the airport, people that I didn't know, people from Peru, where our family's from, and helping them find a place to live, temporary place to live, and temporary work. And so I see that
Right.
also in what you shared in regards to you and your father going out and helping.
My father worked for Human Services, so when it came to the summer programs, he made sure that I was working in the summer programs. I remember when Richard J. Daley was around, that I actually was a 15-year-old in the it used to be called the Urban Progress Center before it became, Human Services. But my father was a driver, and I just seeing him picking up people, bringing them there for jobs, bringing them there for food, bringing them there for housing, for question. I mean, that to me was an inspiration that I said, this is probably where I'm going to end up. And I did, because I ended up going to a non-for-profit first, working in a non-for-profit organization. And then I went to the city, working with the pastors, working with community-based organizations, with schools, with many of our high schools that needed, access, especially when I was in the Senate. So it's always been about helping people in my community, helping people all over, creating laws that, again, are going to benefit our community. They're going to benefit individuals and improve the quality of life for people.